It's about 4 in the morning on. It's so weird how days and time, like, I keep being mixed up on what day it is. And I just heard a guy say that. Like, does it keep feeling like it's Wednesday on Monday? Does it feel like it's Friday on Wednesday? It's like, yes, I keep having that where it's like, so today is, where are we in this week? The 13th. I think it's Tuesday. Pretty sure it's Tuesday. Yeah, because yesterday was trash day. So Tuesday the 13th, which I swear, I just want to rest today. I am so fucking, I, um, I think the garden's pretty much done. I had to dig another post to reach the other fence line, which ended up making like this little entryway, which I like. And it is, so I dug 2 post holes yesterday, and one of them I had to dig. It had the old concrete on it. We see, her and I are doing stuff that, like, if you're well, when I have done stuff with a spouse before, it was like, no, that is a no, you are not doing that. Well, we just did it. So she had this old post that she had dug out the concrete, everything. So this is the kind of stuff that I've been out here cleaning up. She just saves this stuff, like saves this stuff, like that the fucking fence. Which I look at it and I'm like, is that fucking fence 8 foot tall? Like it is. It's really tall. I'm gonna do a video today to show you guys the little creation I just created, because I love to create space. So you'll I will show you. And then but where we started from, it was like overgrown weeds and stuff, and then she has tons and tons of these irises or something, and then there was tons and tons of sunflowers, and or no, daisies. And so when I would I don't know, I get a vision. I get a vision of something, and I can just see it. And I talked about this before. Whatever, when I was at my house doing it a few years ago. And I said it's funny because I feel like that anybody who sees me out there, I'm just standing there just staring out at nothing. But really, I'm having a vision, and it's like a trance. It's like I can go in and see something, but like I said, I can see it further, like in all kinds of situations. I don't know what it is, how it works, but apparently not everybody has the same thing, but that's how I see it. So I can see like a vision over something, like, but it can also be something like you have to tame, because anywhere I go in somebody's house, oh, I can see, like, you know what we can do with this place. So, and I've driven my kids crazy doing that, because when they were younger, I would go into their place and be like, oh, you know what? Start changing stuff, and then be like, oh my God, you just come over and start changing my furniture. And and then I get it though, because then they did that to me. They came to my house to visit, the 2 oldest ones. And they were like, it was when I was living in the cabin and I had it set up weird. And I felt like I was kind of like, well, I don't know what else I can do. And then they're like, well, we can change this around. I think if we did this and this and this. And then I was like, I don't know. And so we ended up doing it, and I liked it better. So anyways, it's it's just how it is though, when I look at something and I can just see like what could be done, or I don't know what it is. I don't know, but I have a vision over the garden now. I think it's pretty much done. I gotta attach this fence, her fence to the post. Yesterday I put concrete in it. She didn't have enough concrete, so we just filled the rest with rocks. Another big no-no. Because it doesn't go all the way up the wood. I said, well, it's gonna rot the wood. She said, it's gonna take a long time. um, but so I had to bring all these rocks. I've made all these garden beds, and there's so much pine needles here. Like, it's so fucking insane. And they're these long ass pine needles. And so they're everywhere. Like the pine, it's weird because you can just be outside and you hear all these pine cones falling. It makes you feel like something's in a tree throwing shit at you. Just constantly, I don't know, maybe it's like what it's like to be around coconuts or something. They just fall out of the tree, fall out of the tree. And it sounds weird, like you can hear it, and it always makes me feel like something's up there. But then it's nope, it's just pine cones falling. And the but there was so much pine needles and stuff. So that is like her bed, her natural habitat, like. And so to me, it's like I follow the pathway of the water. The water has a pathway when it runs. So I follow the pathway of the water and make that into a path. Then around it, take all of the flooring, the habitat flooring, and scoop it into certain places that are, and make those ones higher. And because she's on a slope, try and bring them up so that I can make it more level. Which, you know, you'd have to bring in a lot of dirt to try and make that level, and you'd have to have a drop out. You have to do it as a terrace. It has to be terraced, like. And so I have it like that, but also it's like I've built up these beds kind of. And so, and then put all this stuff. So anyways, I'll do a video and show you guys. And then she still has this whole thing of wanting to clear, because everywhere a pine cone falls, I guess, grows a tree. We have there's a ton of trees growing. There's tons of saplings. And she wants to go in and thin them out and cut them all down and then use the wood for something. But then she keeps saying that she wants to build this fence, because this neighbor guy built his house up here by hers. Well, he hasn't built his house. His house is on the lake. He bought this other whole fucking lot to build the most ginormous barns that he said, I don't even know how to, oh God, I don't know. So anyways, he comes up here all the time, and well, she built way back here because she wanted that view. So she built way up on the hill where everybody thought she was crazy because everybody built down the street. She built way up on the hill. So you have to go up this crazy ass driveway to get there, which is such good exercise, I'm telling you. We all need a crazy ass driveway to stay in shape. And so this guy went and built way back here. So, and she's got her pool over there. And so she's just like, oh my gosh, she needs more privacy. And so she was talking about this privacy fence. Well, last time my epiphany was, oh, we'll take the saplings and then we'll go up and we'll just build you a fence of trees. And it's so funny too, because down when he moved in, he did that down at the front of the street. I'll tell you another weird thing he did. I mean, that's not that weird to build a whole little forest at the front of your thing. And she's like, I can't believe when he put those in, they were so tiny and they're so big now. But another thing he did is all the dirt he had to clear in order to put his house. So it's like this. So you have to dig way into the hill to be able to put the house. And what he did with the dirt is he just made this giant fucking mound in his fucking yard. I'm like, that is so strange. I said, well, why didn't he, like, he could have gave you so much dirt to try and level out some places. And she goes, I asked him he asked me if I wanted some. And I said, yeah, I want some here and here and here. And then he just never did it or something. And then he also built another giant mound back where it like crosses onto her land. And so she's out here walking around the other day. Because she's going to put a camera up too, because the fox and what other wildlife are out there. But so, but she was up there walking around, the other day, and she was up on the mound that he had put up there, which is like a little island. It's not just like a little hill. It's like a little fucking thing. You should see the one in his yard. It's like the whole way across. It's like fucking mount. You can't see it. There is like a part where you couldn't see his house. You can only see this top part, which he built this giant ass barn to look like a house, which my mom keeps saying, I know he's gonna move up there. I know he's gonna move up there. And I don't know, maybe people on the lake get sick of, I mean, there is like motorboats and skiing, like there's like people on the lake that make noise. But, anyways, I saw hair on my hand. But to this mound that goes all the way, because he did a double driveway too. He did some weird shit. I guess maybe his double driveway is if he has a trailer, because he has all his barn stuff up here. Like if you need to buy a whole nother piece of land just to hold on to all your stuff, like maybe you got too much stuff. Like, I don't know. So, and then this giant mountain. So he's got this one driveway, and my mom did her driveway going up and turning, and he just was like, fuck that, I'm going straight up. And he gets stuck here all the time, and he's always having to floor it. And so you go up there, and then this giant barn, it's, I don't know. And then this giant ass mound in front of it that goes all the way across from driveway to driveway. So on the other side of his property, it has another driveway going up. I don't ever see him using that one. He's always using this one, always getting stuck. So I don't know what the problem is with the other one. The whole giant driveway going up that one, whole giant driveway going up this one, all the dirt pushed up into this giant mountain mound. And in the front, he's got all these trees here. Anyways, I don't even know where I'm going off on that, but I just thought it was kind of like a lot of weird things. I just think, like, I don't know, if for people who have a vision, when you just go haphazard, it's just like, what? I don't know. So anyways, but she has all these sapling things, and I was like, that's perfect. And you just said all those grow fast. She's constantly pointing out, like, that tree was so small. So I was like, fuck, we're gonna take all of those little saplings up there and just do a whole fucking wall, like, across the thing. Just put trees up to block them. Why fucking spend money on a fence when nature will provide? She goes, marry up with nature, shake hands with Mother Nature, and use it for what you need to do. So anyways, but that's gonna also be a fucking big project. And then, oh gosh, there's another project. Oh gosh, it's just got, okay, so you remember this summer, I think it was last summer, I don't know when it was, last summer or the summer before, when I came, and then it was like, oh, I gotta find a project, otherwise we're gonna sit here and argue about religion or something. And so it was the wood, and she had these big ass giant piles of wood that was done. I don't know if it was her trees that were cut or some other fucking endless supply of trees out here. And so she had all this wood that was dumped out there, and so she had a wood shed, so I moved it, and I had to walk that wood uphill. I should have probably just done the same thing, loaded it in her car, because that's what I did with the rocks, load them in the car, drive them up. But then you have to still be picking about, yesterday I fell carrying 2 big rocks, and it's like, fuck, hurt my ankle and my wrist, and it's like, fuck, see, if you're not healthy, like, that puts you shit in the hospital. I probably broke my wrist and my ankle if I was still, if I wasn't trying to feed my body with minerals, because it would all be being drained from my body, and my hair was giving me the sign that I was being drained of minerals. We just gotta learn how to read the signs, all the thing, read the signs in life and everything. So, hold on a second. So anyways, I did that, the one summer, and then I filled her woodshed. And so it was, I think it was like 3 quarts of wood or something I moved. And that was one where I was like, fuck, you look at it and you're like, no fucking way. And then you just start doing it. And then all of a sudden it's like, oh my God, I'm almost done. It took me a couple days. But anyways, that was a big project. And then she tried to have a fire and her smoke and her thing keeps blowing. So then she got too scared and wouldn't have a fire. So she got all that firewood. Well, someone came and dumped 2 more big motherfucking lies. Like, goddamn, much you gotta fucking. I was like, what? And I'm sitting here thinking, like, I'd just be calling somebody and saying, hey, who needs free firewood? She's like, no, I need that. This wood will last me the rest of my life. It's like, we better get a new wood stove, and don't give that parameter. Your life will run out as the wood does. So never do that. Like, you gotta really watch your words. I forgot to tell her that, but yeah, I'll have to remind her of that. But yeah, you gotta watch your words. And so, she has this another shed further down, and so yesterday she was having me look for something. I don't know if it was for when we were doing the concrete or something, and it has a bunch of just random stuff, and I was like, well, I don't see anything we can use, but there's a lot of random stuff or whatever, and I don't know how, but anyways, well, you should just clear that out and put all those. She's like, oh, something about moving that wood or whatever. I said, just clear this out and put all the wood, just turn it into a wood head, another wood house, then, if you want to save all this. And so, yeah, I feel like that's got that project going. Yeah, it will be, it's like she wasn't kidding. Like, there's an endless amount of projects. And then I feel like the motivation to get this stuff done, because I know this is temporary. I'm not going to be here. And I keep reminding, like, and that's one thing is, like, they just don't, like, I don't know. The universe works in a mysterious way, so it can be abrupt, where all of a sudden, somebody, fuck, I don't know. I have no idea what is going to happen. I just know something's going to happen. So, and it can just all of a sudden shift things, and so, I don't know. I just feel like, oh, I'll just do this stuff until, something opens up. And it's good exercise. So that wood thing, I'm sure, will be, probably the sapling thing will be this week, maybe towards the end of this week or something, start moving those. But it's a lot of clearing out. Like the forestry thing with the clearing it out, like when Donald was talking about that before to fucking Gavin Dick, that that's for real, for real. Like, you gotta keep it cleared out. See, that's where we work in harmony with the planet. We work in like like a give and take. Like, it gives back. I told her yesterday, I said, nobody can outdo this Mother's Day present. I said that this is a gift that keeps on giving too. And I just feel like it's just so set up for her with the above ground thing. Like, she doesn't ever have to get her rototiller out again. Get rid of this fucking thing, especially if it doesn't work. Fuck that, get rid of it. And now, she can sit in a little thing, and she can dig around in her dirt and do her stuff. And so many people, it's so healthy. And, it makes you get out, get sunshine, and gets exercise, but you can also just sit and just relax and do that stuff. And it gives back. See, you tend to your soil, and it gives back with what it is that you need. And so the more she takes care of the garden, the more that she will get in return. And to the point, I mean, people could sell some of their fresh vegetables to people around, because people are really much more wanting fresh vegetables. Like, you could put a little farm, I mean, that was around by me all over the place. People had little veggie stands and stuff, little things where you could get, some people just sold flowers. You could pull over and get like $3, $5 worth of flowers, tons of eggs. You get out from town, you can find all that, like little veggie stands, everybody's little farms, and their little eggs, all that stuff. You just got to go out from the city where they want to keep us contained and they want to control our resources and stuff. So, yeah, you got to go pull out from their system, their way of doing things. Hold on a sec. Oh, in my video too, because the garden goes right up by these two new wood piles. And so then she's like, oh, it looks so good if those were moved. Okay. So, in the thing that I'm going to move them over into, because this is way closer. It's just like I have to just go across. See, it sounded like thunder again. There keeps being these really big sounds. And across the news, it was CNN too. And across the ticker tape thing, somebody went in real close to show, because so many people don't pay any attention. And yesterday I had this epiphany too, where I was like, oh, it's like CNN. It's not just the misinformation. It's the angle that they pull our attention to. So whatever they are talking about, then you get all these other ones to come in and talk about the same thing. What happened to the investigative journalism? You know, where they're out there looking for the story, looking for the truth and stuff. We don't have that. We just have a bunch of fucking people on TV all talking about the same shit. And so it keeps people distracted on the whatever they want to keep us talking about, which has so much stuff about politics, but that's all going to be shifting into is Donald. Boy, he's on it, man. He's not slowing down for nothing. And he is, things are going to be turning. And there's there's, I don't know, the people that talk to the Galactic Federation or something, they're saying that they were going to come in 2027, but they're coming this year. And they've been giving us signs the whole time with the orbs and the motherships and shit, but they're about to land and take us into the new the new world, which to me, you know, would make sense, because then that could change a lot of stuff with religions. But the only thing is the religion has the firewall of their demons. So I don't know, we'll see how it all plays out. Whatever's going to happen is going to happen. But let me think what I was saying. So Donald is going to town on shit. In the peace and the industry, like it has all to do with the peace industry, the resources, the peace treaty, the currency. Like there's so many things, and all of this stuff is like pulling it all together. And so, whatever is going to be going on over the next couple of days. But the thing is about the meds is, even though they're getting the prices dropped and whatnot, he's going against that, is that the next level is getting off of them. And so it's your health, you know, getting off of them. But see, it's like kind of has to go together. Like the poisoning, you're being poisoned, you're on these, like somehow it's all going to start fitting together. And because we're not going to continue to support this industry. Like, people are not going to continue to go get prescriptions when they find out, you know, that they can drink some tea and get the same benefit. And the tea is not going to give them side effects or interfere with any other things in their body. So, yeah, we're going to be shifting off of that, even though it seems like, wow, look at that. Now it's cheap. Now I can take this stuff for cheaper. We're not getting ripped off and stuff. But see, that's just one step. That's just one state. Oh my God, that was creepy. Oh, now is it going to start again? I wonder if it was that last time, an energy that went through there and went, I don't know, because it was so creepy how it sounded like it was inside and outside at the same time. And it sounded like thunder, but it wasn't, I don't know. But there keeps being these really rumbling thunders and stuff. And there's all sorts of people talking about different ones in different places. and the things don't sound right. Like, yeah, I don't know if it's the atmosphere and the way sound is traveling, or if it's the introduction of, ships going through and what it sounds like when one goes through. I don't know, but we'll be seeing soon. I think things are going to start clear. There's going to start being clarity on some of this stuff soon. But I was reminding me of another thing when I was just saying that. The ships, people seeing the ships. Oh, the rainbows. This was made me see like what I saw. So this guy was doing this video, and he was like, "Isn't this weird how in Australia their rainbows are so low?" And then he was showing some in some different places and how they have like these different types of rainbows. And right now, in some places, they're having something what they call like a black rainbow or something, which is like these other colors and then this dark line, because there's all these weird colored skies and stuff. And which it would be all of this merging of these atmospheric realities and stuff. I don't think it's all just the poison, but there's got to be a shit ton of the poison stuff, because I don't think that when I'm out here doing all this work, yeah, that kicks my ass on the muscle things, but it's like, it's not that. It's just like going to the gym. It's like it's like you just had a good workout. It doesn't kick your ass. It's the inflammation thing that's going on in my fingers and these shooting pains that go. It's like this other thing. And that is where I feel like I'm out breathing this shit. And then that is causing some sort of inflammation, some sort of like overreaction, exaggeration in my body's response system because of the autoimmune bullshit. And so my body overreacts. I bet there's tons of people. And so whatever they're spraying, it's causing me horrible swelling and joint, like this pain, like so painful. And so it makes it hard to sleep, but I'm having this really weird, like, chopped up sleep too. Like, I go lay back down and I don't know. It's like I go to sleep. It's weird. I don't know. Everything just seems weird. It's like I get up for a while. I do some stuff. Go lay down. Then I go to sleep. And then I get up for a while. And then I do some stuff. Then I go lay down. Then I go to sleep. Then I get up for a while. And then at night, then some of the nights I'm completely out. And then some of the nights I'm just laying there in pain and pain and pain. And then I try to figure out, like, what does it have to do also with the moon? The moon is missing. This is when it should be giant and full. The light should be just shining out there. And it's just missing. And I don't know if it's going to do, some pop-offs and show up for a minute and go away or something. Who knows? But on the rainbow thing, when I was seeing that, I was like, this is what I've been talking about, is like where things are. Like this is hard to explain, because it's like you have to like change how your mind views things. And so you're viewing the map like this, but you need to turn it. It's like it's got to turn. And so because when I was over on the west side, it was weird. I kept saying, it's weird. I feel like the firmament or something is lower over here. And you go, it's like a lot of mountains and stuff. So you go there. So and I believe in forest and mountains and shit are portals and stuff. So you're going into these different vibrations, which show you get over there. It is a different vibe, man. It is a different vibe. And it is, is full of a certain, lot of progressive attitude and stuff too. And a progressive attitude is a lot of, it's kind of depression, I swear. It's just like, I don't know. So, but anyways, there's got its own vibe. And then when you're over there, and then there's something weird with the atmosphere, Like, my one daughter, she said she'd never burped before, and then she went over there and she was just like burping and burping and burping. The same thing happened to me when I went over there. It was like this burping and burping. And it's like, what in the world? It's like a different atmosphere here. It's like a different, something's different. And so and this is all going, like when I moved over there, this is all during like my awakening and my healing and stuff. That being there was so substantial in my healing. And but when I very first got there, wasn't the same person that went there as I was that left there. And so when I went, and I don't know where I was. I mean, like I saw the Earth as a flat Earth thing, and then it took a while before I even knew that there was a firmament. And then, but so somewhere along that thing, I started seeing it as like, it was like closer in, like we were like closer into it. But then it started being like you think of like the firmament, and then Australia being in different things. But see, I don't think we're all laying flat like this. I think it's different. I think it's different looking. And then this rainbow thing was giving me like confirmation to that, because some people have this little tiny rainbow, some people have this real long one, some have these big, like all these different ones, which to me, depends on how you fit in this bubble, where you are in the bubble. So I don't know. But that's just the way I see it. This finger thing too. This one is like freaking me out too, because I don't want to get the flesh-eating disease that comes out of the dirt. But I don't know how I cut it or whatever, but it's right through this tattoo, and it keeps being really red and swollen and stuff. And I kept putting aloe vera on it, and it's just weird how it keeps not going away, not going away. But I'm just gonna keep doing it because it's keeping it more like it's fighting it. But it's weird how it just keeps going. But that's the other thing too, is how much of this shit are they spraying on the dirt, like to get the gardeners and shit with their flesh-eating fucking bacterias and shit. Like, there's no telling what all is fucking coming out of the sky. But it's like they're trying to get us to see and understand. And then I don't know, from what I understand, that the ones that are doing it aren't even from it's like a war. It's like a battle. It's like they're here doing it from somewhere else. And our people are allowing it and saying they're protecting us and we need to pay our taxes to keep this country alive. And it's like, you guys are selling us out to all these different things, all this different shit. That is where this is going to come into the TREASON. It's committed against us. It's like they are committing against us. And so these certain people, this catalyst government, the MAGA movement, this movement of, what is it? About Make America Great. But it is it's a revival of spirit. It's a movement in a new direction. And so it's an actual movement, and it's a movement away from the powers that be, the status quo, the way things are, the old system. And so, and it's the shattering of the system. So first, I guess, take away their making money off of us, make it cheap. But then, I mean, like I said, there's a whole nother level to it, because then people have got to see like they don't need this shit. But right now, so many people are convinced they do, because they're all mind controlled and brainwashed and shit. So and you can argue with people all day long, and it's weird because people are more scared of medicine. I had said yesterday to I had this other epiphany thing. Oh, did I even say what the other one was? I don't know if I did. But I'll have to think if I did. But on this Epiphany one, I was like, it's so weird because so many times people will be telling you, oh, you can't give that to dogs. Oh, no, that's bad. You can't give that to dogs. About human food. People are so convinced that human food is so toxic for dogs. It's the weirdest thing. And I said, it's so funny how people will say that all the time. Oh, no, that gives my dogs diarrhea. They can't eat food. But they'll be like, oh, that's so toxic, so bad for dogs to give them this or that. But you ask them, like, well, what do you feed yours? Oh, Alpo, whatever. Oh, what is the ingredients? They couldn't tell you what any of that shit is. They couldn't tell you what those chemical complexes are and what they do. But they're sure that this natural, and that's is the mindset that we have going. So people are sure, this is safe. But a dandelion? What are you talking about? Pull it out of the ground and drink it? What? And it's like our minds are just flipped. But see, everything's going to flip the other way, and then our minds have to catch up. Well, some people have been coming from this direction with their minds unfolding, and others are running from it, but it's going to catch up, and then everything has to fold over. But let me think what the other epiphany thing was that I had was the something with the something with I don't know if I finished saying it a minute ago or if I cut myself off, which I do all the time. But anyways, let me think where I was. So I feel very lost right now. Okay, so the garden, the epiphany, man, I feel like I'm at a total dead end. Let's see. So people will feed, or eat them own selves a whole shit ton of chemicals. Like people will be like, oh, I hate vegetables, but they'll eat like these meal things, and it's got chemicals and shit. Like the thing that I had realized was that you got to go more basic. You got to go where there's no ingredients. So you want to eat just vegetables. I mean, that's their ingredient, but I mean, we still have them messing with that. All the vegetables are losing all their flavor, but they're messing with the seeds, the poison, all of that stuff. And that's enough right there. And trying to keep it as basic as possible. So everything to be like, simple ingredients, like whatever it is that you're having, that's what it is. And then the more complex ones are all of their stuff that they provide, Quaker, Kellogg's, all of that shit. Then that's where they can really slide in some more. So you get whatever, if they use wheat or rice, all the chemicals they use to grow whatever it is. Hopefully it has something that was grown in the food. Oh my God, what the hell? And then on top of that, then you have all their ingredients that they put in to try and make it taste good. And that starts getting creepy because then they even start putting in, I mean, we're already to the point where people are eating Soylent Green. And I know people are eating pets too. It's like they just have no idea what's to come. That's another reason, like, keep what you're eating, like, growing out of the ground. Otherwise, you're going to probably end up really getting grossed out at some point of finding out what it is you've been eating. And that was so weird because I was seeing something at the same time as and then all of a sudden it's like a blank again. Because it was something that was coming to my mind about something. God dang. Oh, and I am so sore, God. I'm carrying all the, but it is like really good exercise. But I was having it, so drive the rocks up here, but then in the driveway, I still got to go and pick them up and carry them and take them going uphill to go over and put them in all these different places. But I'm going to show that I don't know if like you get the whole gist of how much work it was when you see it. Because my daughter was here, and my mom's like, "Oh, show her the garden." And I was like, "Okay." So I went and showed her, and she just like looking around. It's like, unless you see it before, then you see where it comes from, then you don't know. Like, she doesn't know what her garden looked like before. But anyways, it's really cool now. And when I move that wood and move those saplings, then that whole area is going to be really um, cleaned up. It's going to be all fixed. Like, I don't know. She's got more areas that need tending, I think. But there's, it still is making great headway. And it's making her super excited, I think. Being able to see, like, because it is cute. It looks landscaped and so I think. I don't know. You guys can tell me. Um, but there was some other stuff that I wanted to talk about. Let me think. Was there stuff going on? There's lots of stuff going on. Lots of weird stuff in the skies. Lots of uh, weird things happening with just regular people and stuff. Like seeing things or synchronicities or going through portals or glitches, all sorts of weird shit. And I guess probably all depends on your vibration too. Like, that makes such a difference because I think there's no way you're vibrate with the vibration being so chaotic, the energy being so chaotic. It isn't some set thing. So no matter what your vibration is, it's gonna run into interference. It's gonna run into some conflicts in there because it's chaos right now. There's tons of vibrations going. That is where it's like we're going to tune in to a vibratory station. We're going to tune into love. We're going to tune into appreciation. We're going to tune into acceptance. So we're going to tune in the vibration to where it becomes more settled. And we're going to get it into that. But right now we're in this period of time of where it's just chaos, and it's just weird too because the chaos and the violence and stuff, and see the religious people all about the tribulation, but then I mean, to me, King James was Mason of the free type. Then how can we trust him with what he's saying? And if you're not going in and learning the language and reading the scrolls, and you're depending on somebody else to tell you what they say, and especially if they are involved in the handling of us. Oh, that's what it was. It was about the Diddy trial. Because you got that whole huge drama going on. There's so many different dramas that I see people talking about. There's a lot of dramas going on. Like, I don't even know who all these people are. But then it's a lot of talking about all this fetishy, pervy shit, like these people who, like, it's like, you get yourself out of, like, liking something that's pure, and then you gotta push the boundaries, and then nothing gets you off. See, that's the problem with the PORN, is that the people like, oh yeah, that was exciting, that I watched that really got me off, man. And then, but they gotta then push it again and again. It's just the same thing as like drugs, and they gotta keep pushing and pushing and pushing for that hit, and then pretty much they become more and more desensitized, less feeling, less compassion, less empathy, more driven by their perversion, more driven by the fetish, more driven by the drug needing to get off. And so they become weirder and weirder and weirder. Like, how can you say you love somebody when then you're going to pay somebody to go in and, and get your wife to have an interaction with all of these strangers, and then allow these strangers to urinate on your wife and shit. It's like, what in the pervy fucking shit? And don't forget about the guy who also got busted, where his wife, she sued him. I think this lady they're talking about did her in. I think she's gone. But the French one or something, where that guy was doing the same fucking shit. He'd drug his wife and his daughter, I think. And then he would put these ads on and have these guys coming in, forcefully have their way with this basic corpse thing. And then he would film it all, as Max. And he would film it all. And he got busted, and all the people who did it too. See? You can't just do something, just like, oh, well, the husband says, yeah, go ahead. Well, what? You're complicit in a crime. Did you know that? So, anyways, all these people, they're all, going to jail. That was a lot of people. And then she got to turn around and sue, because that's some bullshit. Like, you're married to this fucking weirdo? God dang. And I wonder if that woman, like, what was their relationship like? Like, was he just, like, all skeezy, and, like, all nice and great? Because he knows in the evening he's getting off on his pervy shit. And she thinks, like, oh, I've got the greatest husband ever. Or if he just is really treated her bad all the time and talked down to her. And she put up with all that shit and had no idea, like, how far it was going. Like, man. Oh, my knees. See, this is the thing. Is where everything gets so stiff. Like my like I'm sitting with my knee bent. It's like I can't have it bent any longer. It's got to straighten. It's like I gotta, oh my gosh. It's like all of my connective tissue, all of my fascia or whatever, it's tight and it's hurting. And if it like is bent, oh my god, like if I try and go to sleep, like lay like that, oh my god, the amount of pain that comes out through my hand is what wakes me up. See, and that's what I'm talking about. All these weird kind of things, but it's got to be the point. There's no way it could just be from the exercise to be this stiff and swollen in my joints and shit. So that's and I have no idea like what it is. Like we're all being sprayed in different places with different stuff, and then we all have different I hear cosmetic, but oh, okay, because it still is like a surface thing. Cosmetic makeup, like your DNA structure. So we all have a different structure, so different things affect us in different ways. And so, some people it doesn't bother them at all, and other people it does a lot. And then I start having this other thing come in my head. See, it's very disruptive too, because then you start seeing this stuff, and then you start trying to see that, finish this, see that, and then you forget this and forget that. It's like, oh my god, everything is so chaotic. The energy is so chaotic. Everything feels weird. Like it still feels so weird to me. And I keep having these weirdest things happen of like, I don't know, just like feeling like everybody can hear my thoughts. They're so fucking loud. Shut up in there. And then where I feel like I'm arguing, am I arguing with myself? Like, I know, I don't think so. I think it's the dark energy. I feel like the dark energy is like very much on high right now. Like it's very much on the attack, and it's the attack of trying to stay relevant or current, and trying to stay alive, trying to keep their world alive. Because what happens to them when we pull free from them, it's like if they, like I've been saying, there's got to be something for them to experience themselves. Otherwise they're just a pile of dark goo, right? So they have to have a world to have an experience. But when we're pulling out, then it's like they have to go out into the world and find a new place to experience, to take over, to bring their sickness. And that's why I see it like almost like this energetic dark ball flying through the universe, and then it lands somewhere else, and then it brings in the darkness and brings in whatever it is that because it knows how to morph in to what it is that the people self-destruct. Because that's what people are kind of doing, is self-destructing. Because how do you not see what it is that you need to see? Like, like it's weird how many people, like, I think you can look at somebody who's living a healthy lifestyle and you can think like, fuck man, they're in good shape. I want to be in good shape. But it's not by accident. It's like you have to work on yourself. It's like, yeah, I go walk that driveway a couple times a day. I use my little bands, which this is the new fabric one, and this is the lightest one. I knew there's no fucking way that the 50, oh, let me see if I have it right here. No, I put it over there. The 50, I can't even fucking move it. It's just like, oh, it's so tight. This one's a 25 pound or something. And so, but it's so much tighter, because look at this one. This is the extra heavy. This is the hardest one of this texture. And then this one, it's like you can move it way back. And so you can pull like all these muscles. And you get this muscle, like I was saying. This one is it's so much tighter. It's just like a different kind of thing. I've been using them both now that I have them. But yeah, this one, it's like you can't. But it's still, when you do it, it's different muscles. So it pulls on different muscles. So I think using both. And then plus my exercise thing is like, I don't know, less than 15 minutes a day of doing that stuff. Or even when I was doing my weights and stuff, it's not like, these people go to the gym and it's like 2 hours later. It's like, no, I'm just like 15 minutes. And but I try and make sure that I stay active of the walking. But it's funny because right when I started to talk about this the other day, is right when I started after my surgery and I started going through the menopause or whatever, and I started gaining weight. Well, I went to the doctor and I was like, I'm gaining weight. What do I do? And they start trying to get you to go on hormones and stuff. But the one nurse practitioner that I had seen first, she was way more natural. And I didn't know at the time. Like I thought, oh, she never gives you anything good. She'll just tell you to take a vitamin. And I didn't realize at the time, like, I should have been listening to her more. But but so she had told me, go out every single day and walk 45 minutes. You got to go walk. She said, the reason you're gaining weight isn't from the menopause. It's because when you were a nurse, you walked all day and all night, like your whole shift, you would walk, 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 walk. I was like, oh, that's true. You're walking all over the hospital. You're walking all over the fucking place. And then when I switched to the other job, where it was more like I was a social worker, I was driving, I was like sitting a lot, doing a lot of paperwork. So it was totally, totally different. And I started gaining weight. She said, that's why you're gaining weight. It's like you're not walking all the time. And so I went out and I started doing a walk for 45 minutes. I would walk long ways in my neighborhood and then walk back. Well, it wasn't working. And but now I understand more too, is that it's not going to work when you're not when you are holding on to something. It's like you start to hold on to weight when you're holding on to things. And I was going through, a lot of stuff, insecurities and stuff of gaining weight and everything. So, whatever, that whole thing, because it was a couple of years. And but, when did I see, well, all I know is like here though, this walk, like this incline, like doing that a couple days, and it's only a couple minutes walk. It's not like, some fucking half-hour walk. It's like I don't know, 5 or 7 minute walk. But doing that a couple of times a day is way more efficient than that walking. Like you will sweat, like you will, like your heart will be pounding, you'll be breathing hard to get up that incline. And that's what your body needs. And so that is, and also back when I had said about where I felt like I was thinking about when I was in my best shape, and I was walking all the time, but I was walking like 4 miles. My friend and I, we would walk 4 miles to hair school, and then we'd walk 4 miles home. Or either maybe it was two, I'm pretty sure, no, maybe it was 2 miles there and 2 miles back. Maybe it was 4 miles a day. I can't remember if it was 4 miles to get there and 4 miles to get back. But walking a mile is only like 20 minutes. And so it's like, go out and walk, like she said, 45 minutes to an hour every day. But it's like but to me now, it's like it's just the being active, being active. And so, and then eating right and not being super indulgent. But then also, though, I eat a shit ton of cookies and sweets. And so a lot of people think that's super indulgent. And to me, I look at it as like, yeah, but we're supposed to be doing things that we enjoy. We're supposed to be also loving the experience. And what are the things? I love sweets, so why wouldn't I not want to experience them while I'm here? And so, and there's a lot of people that think like, well, you shouldn't be eating that way. But then it's kind of like, well, I throw kind of a wrench in that thing. If I'm thin and I'm eating that way, and that is like, it's spun my mom out. Like, I don't understand how you're eating this way and being thin. It's like, because that's the illusion, I think, is it's like if you're doing things you love and you're taking care of yourself, you can do the things you love. If you love to eat cookies, you can eat some, but that doesn't mean, like, get a bag of them and eat a whole bag of them. Like, you can't just, let eat a lot more of the stuff than what people think that you can. And to me, it's like, I don't think that I'm being unhealthy. I think I'm on one level just doing the things that I enjoy and eating the things that I love. And if you're doing that and loving yourself, then it all kind of plays out. And so I don't look at it like that I'm being unhealthy or being too indulgent and stuff like that. Where some other people think that, but then people, uh, can see me and be like, well, because this has already happened. So then, how could she be that healthy? How is she so thin or whatever? And then, and the thing is there's a lot of people that don't want to give up their lifestyle because anybody can do it. It's not like it's only meant for certain people, no, but it's a choice. You have to choose to go and have a healthy lifestyle and to eat right and exercise, and that becomes your lifestyle, taking care of yourself, like sleeping, like going to bed early, not just going out to the bar and staying up and drinking alcohol and uh, eating a bunch of junk like that. Like, that's way worse for you, I think, is to go out to the bar and drink all night and then go to after hour food and eat a bunch of a bunch of food and then go home and go to bed. Your liver, your kidneys, and everything are trying to process through all that, and you're just sleeping. And so it's got to retain and hold on to the things it can't use, because what is your body, what are you doing? What are you using the energy for? So then it just goes into the fat system, and it just sits there. And then people are like, well, they're hard on themselves because they can't live that lifestyle. That's not that lifestyle we're meant to live. We're not meant to live that way. When you live in the lifestyle that you're meant to live in, then, yeah, you're going to feel like, yeah, I'm doing good. I'm feeling good. I'm fit. I'm primo. I'm fine. But it's the lifestyle choices that create the sluggish, the sickness and all that, and overweight, all of the things that people want to fight against. But it's just this switch over into, it's like a dedication to self. It's like what's good for you, what's not good for you. But again, there's people who would look at me and go, well, you eat cookies. That's not good for you. It's like, well, I guess it's a matter of opinion. And so, I don't know. And also, though, I monitor myself. And, I don't, like, if I feel like, oh, I've eaten too many cookies and I feel like I'm gaining weight, then I will eat less cookies. you know, so it's like I still keep track of it. I don't just devour every cookie that I see mindlessly, every cheesecake that comes my way. But I'm sure gonna enjoy it. The fucking tiramisu cake, the cheesecake. I'm gonna enjoy it while it's there, and and I think that that is a part of loving yourself, you know. So but you also, you have to put that into your lifestyle thing. Like, I'm not going to just sit in the evening and eat a bunch of cookies when I know, like, that's dead ass gonna go on and not have anywhere to go, because I'm not going to use that energy when I'm out doing a bunch of stuff. That's like the perfect time. Man, eat a cookie, I'm going to fucking use that energy up real quick, because I'm going to be like, grr, and that energy is going to be used and not go find some fat to settle in. So that is another way to think, like, what does my body need? What should I be doing? And you know that it needs rest. You know you need to take time for yourself. So many people push past that. That's important to keeping your lifestyle. The time of reflection or meditation, keeping up with how you are feeling on the inside, and dealing with your emotional state of mind and stuff, because that guides your physicality too. That's why I say, like, to me, if I see where someone's, you know, gaining weight or something, to me, I don't see them as gaining weight. I see them as like they're going through something. There's something that they're going through, because weight is a protection. And we have a broken society where there's so many people going through things and having a hard time. I gotta get a drink, hold on. See how my cough is super dry now? It's like this. There's no rattling or anything. But it doesn't, when a dry cough doesn't ever seem as effective. You have a real rattly cough and you're coughing and it's rattling out all that stuff, and it feels like, but a dry cough, it's like, oh my gosh, is anything happening? It's just this. So, anyways, anybody can have the body that they want or any of that stuff, but they have to figure out what their lifestyle needs to have that. But everybody just takes these other choices, like, you know, they'd rather have, you know, this or that. They'd rather have some steak, or and to me also the meat thing, because I don't eat any meat. And I just think people don't realize how, like, you were sold that it was good for you and it tastes good, and, which creeps me out, because I feel like there's going to be a lot of people are going to find out that they weren't eating cows and pigs. But I don't think it's good for you. I don't think it's good for the system. I don't think it's good for us, and I think that's a part of the system. It's like giving us the finger back. Is why it's going to kind of be Soylent Green kind of stuff. It's like, well, you went in this direction. Where'd you think it was going to go? Devouring everything around you, eating everything up that couldn't fight you, never giving respect to its life and stuff. And I don't know, I was having this weird thing about the cows the other day, and I was thinking, fuck, man, I mean, to really think about it, how many cows, for all of the people that in the consumption of cow, how many cows that would have to be every day. Like, that is really crazy. And then and they're not just like waiting for the cows to die. Like, I don't know, it was weirding me out the other day, because I was thinking about, you know, what's constantly dying, what's probably on the fucking menu, and but are they, you know, killing us off too, to speed up that process, like they do with the cows and the chickens? You know, they just raise them to kill them, raise them into food, and it's still, there's just the numbers. It's like, no fucking way, just one day. You just think of the one day of how much meat is discarded. Like at the hamburger places, the places where they cook them up, like McDonald's, they cook them up and leave them sitting there because, oh, somebody will be there in a minute to get it. And how much waste goes into that. How much waste at the grocery stores of meat that doesn't get sold, that goes bad. It's like, oh my gosh. There's so many, there's just, I mean, it's kind of creepy to be thinking like that we would look on the planet and think like, well, we'll just eat that thing. We'll just eat them. We'll just grow them and kill them and eat them. It's like, so that energy is just, it's not an elevated energy. It's not an energy of respect of other beings and other species and stuff. And see, that's what we're going into, this other way of being where we respect one another, respect just life in general. That's what we're learning. And I don't know if it is going to be a small amount of people. Like, who knows what the hell, you know? Everything is getting closer and closer. Whatever's going to happen, we're getting closer to it happening. So, you know, the questions won't have to continue, but I still, to me, it seems like that this thing happens to wake people up. And it's like the lights come on because you see the things you didn't see before. And that's going to trigger specific interaction in the people. And so the people who have been asleep through all of this, when they wake up and see, that is going to really affect their ego and stuff, because it's like, why didn't I see this before? What was blocking me? That's what you got to heal, is what your blockages were, what was holding you back. And it can be your following, it can be your biases. It's like, but each individual has to go in and figure out, like, why was I not able to see? And it's the disconnect in your soul, like you're disconnected from yourself. And then the people who have been coming up, awakening through the stuff and healing through it, like there's going to be something about that too. Like when the lights come on, that is, and I don't know what the numbers are and stuff, so I don't know if it is like all of the people who've been awakening are going to be like, you know, leading the way of how to heal or something. I'm not sure, but I know that this part, and to me it seems like that when you've been doing the healing and stuff, and then you know how to move your energy and to direct your energy, not force it, not manipulate it, but to get on, you know, get on the ride and to relax and let it go. Then through that, that is where there will be a shift in a bunch of people's lives, where good things are going to really start happening, because when the lights switch, that is going to be a big depletion of the darkness. So, and that's why I'm saying the darkness is attacking us right now in such a heavy way, because they are so desperate to stay alive, and they it's their only way. And then when there's so much darkness at play, there's more darkness that can come into play. And that's the same thing as like in the micro macro of like a Diddy party and stuff. So when someone opens up a dark place, then more people can go into that dark place and play into these dark roles. But see, this is where light's going to come on, and people are going to be exposed for all the things that they've been doing. And so there's going to be so much of the exposing is the light coming in. And so everything represents everything else. So see, we've got to be close, because it's all happening. The shifts are occurring. The light's coming in. Things are being exposed. So that shows that, but it still is like the slow roll, the rolling. But there's going to be an abrupt thing, and that's what's going to be the shock factor. And I don't know if it's going to be the Galactic Federation coming to tell us the error of our ways, or how it's going to play out, if it's going to be like the abundance, peace on earth. He's going now against the the Neferrata, whatever guy over there in the real. He's going at, there's doing positive things for the other, you know, the Palestine thing, and which my daughter had even brought up about them. You know, so I wanted to send her the video where it's like, oh, he's doing good stuff over there, but, you know, when they've got the TDS, it's pointless to try and get them to see. They can't hear it. So that's why the things have to play out, and then they'll start seeing it. So, yeah, me sending something and being like, oh, look, He's trying to fix this big problem that you're so concerned about. But when they're all like not trusting this person and stuff, so it's got to just play out, and that's this slow rolling. But then there's going to be these abrupt things. But these are all the things where people will be like, "Why couldn't I see? Why couldn't I see?" It's like, well, I don't know. You have to ask yourself that and figure it out. And that's where you need to take time for reflection, time for meditation, and time to look at yourself and try and figure yourself out so that you can, let go of whatever it is that your blockages are. So that is this big healing part that we're coming into. And this is like right around the corner. There's going to be these big shifts and big changes. There's going to be lots of people where really good things are going to start happening for them because the dark energy is not going to be holding them back. So good things are going to start happening, which that's also going to help the people who are just waking up to see like, oh, it's going to give them direction. Like, to me, healing yourself is, there's nothing you can do to speed that up. And it can go on and on and on for a long time because the tests come in and everything that you're here to work on, it will keep being tested and tested, and you keep going and going and going. But it gets better and it gets easier. But that is still going to be a big part because we're kind of going into a mindset where we just want to be more on top of ourselves, of, managing ourselves in a different, more mature way, not so emotionally immature and impulsive and so fetishy. Like, everything's so fetishy. Everybody's like trying to feed into these impulses to make themselves feel good and stuff, and it's like, just like the same thing as eating something that's not healthy, feeding into these impulses that you can feel things, but it's not healthy. But that's this whole flip over. It's like making choices for yourself that are healthy lifestyle, healthy way of taking care of yourself. And there's not just one person that can just tell you, because we're all different. Like, to me, the walking and being active, but then also I take lots of naps, especially lately, of going in and resting. So listening to your body when it needs to rest. Also, I go with the cycle more of the moon or the sun on the eating. When it's rising is when I eat the most, and when it goes to the highest point is usually when I eat, like my main thing, whatever I'm going to eat that day, and then start going down from there. And like, I don't eat for long, usually a couple hours, and then may eat a snack later in the afternoon or something, and then that's it. So when the sun is going back down, I just slow down, and that seems like, to me, it seems like a natural cycle. So I don't know. I mean, everybody can figure out their own, but to me, that seems like a natural cycle of what my body would be doing. So I go with that. And then I eat vegetables and be active. I don't put on the block for the sun. Because I think that's chemicals that go and absorb into you and cause you the problem that you're trying to hide from. And then there's don't drink any alcohol. I don't do any drugs, even though some people think that a plant is a drug. I don't. And I don't, overly indulge in that. Like, I'm not just sitting there getting wasted all day. And then to me, it's like, it's kind of just relaxing, have a couple puffs, and then you kind of move around a little better, and then you just go about your business. But let me think. What else? Oh, because I do a lot of the detoxing and stuff with the teas. And so I don't know. It's just trying to be healthy, and it will start to, come out of you. What you put your energy into will come out, just like you put your energy into the garden, it will give you back. You put energy into yourself, then it will give back, and you'll be healthy, you'll feel good. And And in most cases, then if you're being healthy and you're feeling good, then you're going to start looking good because you feel good about yourself. So you're going to start looking good. And that doesn't mean it's only one size. It's not a one size fits all world. It's a size where you feel good, and that's all different for all different people. But it's where you focus on what is good for you. Where do you feel good? How do you feel good? What do you do to feel good? What do you eat to maintain your good feeling and stuff? So it's all individual because, like, I don't drink coffee. There's a lot of people who drink coffee, and I think coffee's not that good for you. And so, but that doesn't mean you shouldn't be able to have a cup of coffee here and there. But there's so many people, I mean, and that's one thing too, is like when you see somebody thin, then right away you're just like, oh, they just sit around smoking cigarettes and drinking coffee all day to be that thin. They don't take care of themselves. It's like this complete opposite of what you think. And so, it's a dedication to taking care of myself. And that's one thing my mom just can't even get over. It's like, how can you be that thin and be that strong? She's like, she's telling me again, like another conversation. This is how my mom works out. This is, oh, I was talking to so and so, and I was telling them what a fucking monster you are. You're just out there. You're so strong. You're just moving all this stuff. You just don't stop. It's like that's the way my mom, gives you a compliment. So, anyways, that is she keeps telling me that keeps getting her and stuff. But the 15 minutes with those bands, I'm telling you, makes you stronger. And then just not shying away from exercise, getting out there and doing the lifting, doing the digging, doing the raking. It's all those things. And they're all different movements. Raking and pulling that fucking weight of all those pine needles and all of some of the place where it's packed in with all of the, it's like organic material at that point. And pulling all that takes all your core strength. If you don't have good core strength, when you go out and do that, it's going to be like, fuck, man, that kicked my ass for 5 minutes. I can go out and rake for a long time. The digging, I couldn't believe I could dig 2 holes yesterday. It was like, fuck, man. I remember the last time I tried to dig a hole, it was like 2 decades ago or something. It was like kicked my ass. I was like, fuck. Well, no, I dug those holes over for my post and my fence, but I sat on it because it was so rocky. I sat on the ground and used one of those little tiny shovels and just kept shoveling because you'd have to dig out rocks and shit. So I wasn't standing up with a big shovel, like fucking going, kicking it in and pulling it up. That's a whole bunch of different movement. Going and picking things up that are heavy and carrying them, going and taking a bucket and going through dirt and lifting that and getting that bucket full of dirt and then carrying that and then putting it in. Like all of those movements, those are all movements that our bodies naturally need. So the more that we go out and do these things that are more natural, the more your body is gonna respond in a positive way. It's just that so many people are cut off from that part of this, like a healthy lifestyle of going out. Like people go to work and they go to the gym, and that has become our healthy lifestyle. But our healthy lifestyle is just having your own piece of property and going out and taking care of it and taking care of yourself is all you really need to do. And that is not just sitting and watching TV all day. That is going out and digging holes, raking, tending to the land, taking care of it. And like I had said, how, yeah, Donald was giving it to Gavin that day. Like nobody's tending the forest up here. Who were paying these forest people to come up here and take care of this land, but who's doing it? Nobody's doing it, and it's causing us to have fires because there's too much debris and shit. But that's where you go out and you tend your land, and that's why I said they're not going to be giving people too much land that they can't keep up with. This is going to be about living in harmony, but just the healthy lifestyle is just living a normal life and taking care of yourself. It's just that people are all caught up in living an unhealthy life and accepting it. And that's why the unhealthy life is going to be pushing. It's going to be pushing in on people's health, pushing on people's self-esteem, pushing in on people's time, their priorities. all these different things. It's pushing in on that because it's the splinter. It's the splintering of our lifestyle of what it was that was being controlled by these other people that create such an unhealthy lifestyle. And once you start putting on the brakes and you start going, wait a minute, this sucks. I don't feel good. I feel like shit. I'm unhealthy. I've got to go take medicine. I'm overweight. I don't have any time for myself. I'm depressed. And then you start being like, well, how do I change this? What do I do to change this? Because this isn't working for me. And that's when you start going towards you. That's when you start going like, I need something better. And that is where there's going to be this sudden flipping where all of these people who are going to see all of a sudden there is a better way, and everybody's been resistant to it, but everybody's going to start seeing there's a better way, and everybody's going to start going in a direction of, changing their lifestyle. And it's going to be so beneficial to us too. It's like, I know that land and stuff is going to be given to us, like they're going to be giving things to us because it's our birthright. And all of this other shit that we've been, paying for and stuff has been against our rights, against our God-given rights. And that is going to be like, there's going to be so much of these people that have caused the TREASON against us. Or she just does a little toot. There does a little stretch, little toot. So anyways, that is where we're going into. So even if you're, feeling bad about yourself, like, just start going towards that. And so many people are resistant, like, well, yeah, it'd be great if I could live like that, but I can't. It's like, yeah, but you got to start going towards that. If you want it to come, you have to go towards it. Like, you can't run from it and think it's going to come. And going towards it, yeah, it can be a dark, you don't see what's to come, it feels uncomfortable. It feels like, fuck, man, I would have to leave my job. I have to go live somewhere where, it's a different kind of way of living. And so it's like, you got to get out of that city mindset. Like, oh, you need the, or suburban mindset. Well, you got to have this, you got to have that. And this is what you need to be happy. You got to have an extra land and extra barns built, because you got stuff that you gotta keep that you don't need or use all the time. Like, it's just, I don't know. It's just like changing the madness. It's like a redirection of how you look at things. It's like looking at it from the other side. So anyways, everybody can accomplish the things they want. Their resistance, or the place that they see that is them. They're their own blockage. And so there's no reason to be looking at anybody and thinking like, God, I want to be in good shape. I want to be able to do that. It's like, then go do it. It's like, it's not just for, it's for anybody who wants to go and do it. You can also be healthy and have a healthy lifestyle, but it's by our choices. So anyways, that's all I gotta say about that. And again, I'm not gonna say like, well, you can't eat any sugar, you can't ever drink a coffee, you can't have a beer, you can't do, no. It's like figuring out what it is that you want, how much of it you can have, but like, it's like you monitoring yourself. Before, we were coming out of this place of just everything's out of control, just indulge. Oh, you need more to have more. It's like this consumption, indulging society. And so, that's where you gotta start monitoring yourself. Yeah, like, I like cookies, but I'm not gonna eat a package of them. I like chips, but I'm not gonna eat a whole goddamn package of them. So that's where he's like, you can like the stuff you like, but it's like, you got to figure out like how much of it that you can like, what is the line where you're like, oh, I can have this much and still love myself, or I can go over here and then be mad at myself, kicking myself in the ass and gaining weight and being mad at myself. So it's just a way of giving yourself the value of like figuring out what it is you need and what it is you don't need. I don't know, I'm just rambling, I swear to God, just rattling on. So anyways, let's look at my hair situation. So you can decide for yourself what the deal is with it. I'm not gonna tell you. You can look at it for yourself. The tooth too. And And this is I've got it back under the thing, but there's still this little lump thing that's there. It's just waiting to inflame whenever it wants to inflame. So, and then I also have this one on my chest too now. It, and so this is where people run into the doctor. Oh, what is it? Because I had already done that with this, but there's no fucking way I'm letting them start cutting shit off. No, thank you. I'll risk myself. And then, but the chest one too. That's where people go in, and people are going in and getting shit cut off of them. And I'm trying everything natural, so I just do everything natural, and so far so good. Everything has been, it's like it can be slow, but we are not at our optimum. We're being poisoned every fucking day, and we are running on empty. That's the thing I didn't finish saying yesterday, I don't think, was when I was in nursing school. One of the things that I had learned that I didn't know before was the reaction that when people think they're drunk, when they'll be like, oh, I love being drunk, I love feeling like that, relaxed and all that stuff, that is the result of poisoning. So your body is having a reaction to poison, and that's the reaction, and then you think it's nice. I like it. And I was like, oh my God, that is so weird. But now I see, like, our bodies are reacting. We're being poisoned every day, and our bodies are reacting to it. And it's causing, it causes all sorts of problems. It's causing metabolic problems. I mean, that's one reason why people are gaining weight too, is because of the metabolic problems from all the sprays and shit. So, anyways, I'll just keep on going and ranting and raving. But, and it's just sad, because I just know there's so many people who they want to look better and feel better, and they feel like they're in this trap of, because they're being poisoned and stuff, and so then they just feel like they just can't get where they want to be. But everything is going to start shifting, and things are going to get better, and you can. And you can come from being older and start going back the other way, because aging is made up just to cover their asses on the poisoning. So, anyways, that's what I got to say about it. So, just remember though, because what is important here is learning how to love yourself, because that's what makes all the difference in the world, is learn how to love yourself. And we live in a world where everybody hates themselves, and it makes them hate everybody else. So, learning how to love yourself, learn how to love everybody else, and learning how to have the day you want. And you have more control than you think. So, anyways, we'll talk about it again tomorrow. Talk to you later. Bye.